I'm running out of clock here. Whatever. Okay, I need to. Hello! Hello, everybody. It's Ira Bowman and Alicia. We're having some technical difficulties. Oh, LinkedIn decided to play with us finally. Okay, here we go. It wasn't going live on LinkedIn. So, anyways, let's do our little video and then we'll be right back. BowmanDigitalMedia.com. All right, so we are here officially. It's Friday, having a little bit of snafus. It's just one of those. It's one of those weeks. We actually have an empty chair. My mom, I thought was going to be on the show. She's here in our house, but I don't know.
Where?
She's in
it's not that big a house.
She's in a room or something. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. It's all good. So we're here. Hey, Bob. Bob and I are part of WBS Rocks. So Bob and I were on a show, and he is the maestro with the drinks. So he calls himself the Chief Drink Officer, the CDO. It's a lot of fun.
Every week we should feature what Bob's drink is or something of the night.
You know what? Maybe
we get creative.
We could do something like that. Hey, Bob, would you like to put your drink of the week in the comments, and we'll pull it up for everyone to see. But Bob is awesome. If you're not connected with Bob on LinkedIn, connect with Bob.
I'm actually seeing a whole business opportunity for Bob. Bob's drink of the week, and you could sell little kits and send them out.
Little side hustle, Bob. It might not be legal to ship the drinks though. It might just be like the recipe cards. But anyways,
yeah.
Randall, hello. Randall and his son do a show every week on LinkedIn as well, and I try to catch that too. And we got Denrich in the house. Now, Denrich, I don't know if you're seeing this, but there's a setting in your profile, if you change it, to share with third parties. That'll allow it to bring up. So right now I can see you on LinkedIn just fine, but here in the comments. But he's coming to us, by the way, of Canada. So welcome. He's another one of the Sam Gupta WBS Rocks folks.
You know, I should put my glasses on, I guess, when I read those comments, because I just saw, hi, bruh.
Hi, bruh. It actually said, hi, Ira.
I don't know.
Hi, bruh. Actually, anyways, all right. So let's do this. We have a show. It's a weekly show. We do this every single week. My wife loves this part of the show. And he says, okay, got it. Yep, that's what I'm here to help, right? All right, so what exactly is 8 is enough?
8 is enough is my hashtag for you.
But it's also the name of our show,
the name of the
which
show.
is what I was referencing.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. But our show is about business to business and business to consumer sales and marketing, some social media. It's about us. Not that we're that interesting, but you know what? People sometimes seem fascinated by a family with 8 kids. And
well, who wouldn't want to be married to me?
well, that's probably another thing.
Probably everybody who knows me, but for those of you in social media land, you think I'm awesome, and that's cool.
Yeah. And we do talk about direct sales marketing, MLM, and trying to get rid of that stigma.
MLM. What is that?
Multi-level marketing, which I am a part of.
We did some MLMing today at our house.
We did.
We could talk about that later.
You never know when opportunity will strike.
She was making samples and somebody said, ooh, that sounds good.
And the scent was Squeeze the Day.
I felt bad for the guy.
So.
I heard him say, ooh, that smells nice. Not that, you poor fool. You just
wanted it, man.
You just stepped on a landmine and you don't even know it. I felt bad for the guy.
He left happy.
He left $200 lighter. That's what he did. You got your hooks into that poor guy.
I just shared what I love.
I know.
And
he bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
He liked it. He wanted it. Oh my goodness.
Well,
so, you know what, though? I am actually disappointed that your mom, I was going to call her Nana, but that she's not on, because I wanted to ask that question, you know, so what was it like to raise Ira Bowman? But, you know, I guess we won't get to hear all that.
I'm sure she will come running as soon as she figures out that we're on and she can answer that question for you.
You might not want her to.
I don't know if everybody's up for that answer, but let's just say this. I wasn't always this nice. For whatever that's worth.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Is that a shocker to you?
This is my surprise face.
You've seen me at my best, haven't you? Yes, you have. But you're still here 21 years later. You deserve a medal.
Thank you.
Or maybe one of Bob's drinks.
Or 10.
Or 10. Or 21. Our marriage could legally drink.
Almost.
In June.
Couple months.
In June. When we're in Baltimore. Singing Good Morning Baltimore.
Anyways, nobody wants to hear me sing.
I don't know. They might, actually.
I don't think so.
Who wants to hear Alicia sing?
No.
Let's see how many.
There is a video out there somewhere of me doing a performance. And I had like 3 solos in it, and that's probably enough.
There's pictures of us. We want Mama Bowman. Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure we all do. She's upstairs somewhere. Our house is not that big. 3,400 square feet is not that not that much square feet when you think about how many people live in this house. Hello, Anna Zita. Where are you from, Anna Zita? That's an interesting spelling of your name. I'm just trying to figure out the heritage there. So, anyways, we want Mama Bowman. You heard her. She goes by Nana around here, or Roberta is what I call her, but I digress. Toots, 100%. Yes to singing. I second Bob. I'll bet you the majority rules here say that they do want to hear her sing something, but
we'll have to meet up sometime. You start pouring.
You say karaoke, and you know I'm in.
And then maybe
you know I'm in on the karaoke.
Late in the night.
She'll sing it. Just make sure it's something from like Grease, right?
Or some 80s song, some
music.
love ballad.
She'll do it. Some Cher.
Olivia Newton-John.
Alanis Morissette. I mean, she knows Alanis Morissette. Oh, there she is. Did you see? Yeah, let's go. Get down here, Toots. Defend yourself. She's coming. She'll be here shortly. It'll take her about 5 minutes to walk down our stairs. There it is.
We're in rare form tonight. It's been a day.
I came prepared to defend myself. So there it is. All right. I figured I was going to be outgunned. Absolutely. All right. So we have a few items of business that we cover on the show every week. As my wife said, we do sales to sales and sales to sales. We do sales and marketing tips for business. Here she comes. Business to business and business to consumer. So just close the door and then come around. And I'll probably have to slide over. But yeah, we're going to make room. Nana's joining, everybody. Bob Feathers, Ivan owns free drinks for missing. Yeah, there you go. Matt's another one of us. There's all kinds. All right, so for the world, just have a seat. Do we got a coaster for?
No, we don't have coasters.
Here's one. You guys don't.
Did everybody know that Ira's all about coasters?
I'm a coaster freak, but I also have a glass table. So it is.
It's not like it's wood.
It is what it is. But be very careful. I don't want you to spill because my computer's right there. That would be a nightmare. Yeah, maybe we should just move that light.
I'll just put my drink on the floor.
Here.
Yeah, that's better. I have 15 lights in here. Somebody asked me that one time. How mmany lights do you have around you? I have 15. All right, Mom, you look like a midget. I don't know.
It's that chair because that's why we.
Oh, that's the
chair.
She's really not 4'5". She looks like an Oompa Loompa.
You can scoot in a little more.
Yeah, scoot in. Here, I'll scoot over.
I'm 4'5".
No, you're not.
You're at least that.
You're 5'5".
I'm
Easy.
5'6".
You might have used to be
every time
5'6".
they
I don't
measure
know
me,
that
I
you.
shrink a
Yeah, I was
little
gonna say I don't
more.
know that you're still 5'6", but I'm not 5'8" anymore either. If I ever was, so it is what it is. All right. So this is my mom. Mom,
Hi.
inquiring minds want to know what was it like to raise Ira Bowman.
Be gentle.
Just remember that I make my living on this thing, so let's maybe not embarrass me too much. But there we go. So yeah, Bonnie says, "Love that mom is on."
This is going to probably be the hottest show.
I will let you know. I will let you know if I love that mom is on after. But I'm telling you, the audience is growing by the second year. So this.
I'm sort of glad my parents didn't come on when I was staying there.
Yeah, you know, we need to get them on. Let's do that.
Oh, there you go. They
wanna
probably
know.
should ask your mom instead of your dad. Although,
They probably both could tell some stories. So, what was it like though? Ira as a child.
Speaking to the mic.
Everybody wants to know.
Let the world hear you. Ira was fantastic. Anything else she says? No. Oh, here we go. Give us the dirt, Nana. Yeah. I love all of you. My show, just technical difficulties. Did I mention that the internet guy was here today? What happened? Let's hear what she has to say. No, I'm going to keep talking.
see, I'm thinking that they should probably ask your baby brother
No.
what it was like.
We don't
grow
want
up
to
with
Ask
Ira.
Tim Bowman.
Yes, they probably do.
One day.
Because he's the one who had to endure the wrath of his brother.
One day we'll have Tim on, but not today. Let's take baby steps here. So for those of you who don't know, okay, so I have 3 siblings. I have 2 older sisters and a younger brother. Now, as I've talked about on my shows before, you know, my parents got divorced when I was 8 years old. So we didn't always live together, but we did live together a lot. Because obviously the first 8 years of my life we lived together. And then Tim and I lived together through high school. Well, about halfway, because he moved out with my dad and I. He moved out, I think it was 8th grade year is when he came over. So I was with him again. But really there was 2 different stories. When I was younger with my brother, we didn't get along. And then when I was in high school, I actually kind of took him under my wing. So it's much nicer. So if you want to know the version of you'd have to ask my brother what part of this. Are we talking about the hair pulling, the fighting, rivalry, or are we talking about the kumbaya? Let's help. You know, I had a goal in high school. My senior year was my brother's freshman year. In my senior year, I really tried to like set him up, like introduce him to everybody and help prepare him for like this great high school experience. And then they moved. So he didn't even, his sophomore year, he didn't even go there, all that prep work. But
All right, so what does Nana have to say?
Could Nana surpass Poison Ivy? So Poison Ivy is a whole different deal, because you're talking about Joe Stepke, and Joe Stepke's obsessed with comics and all that stuff. So probably not but for me, if my mom said, you know, bowmandigitalmedia.com, I probably would use it. Anything's probably better than me. Anyways, all right. Nana, the question to you is, be kind.
No.
Bobby kind of avoided the free drinks question, didn't he? I don't know if he did or not. But anyways, let's do this. Let's answer this question. We'll come back to free drinks. Free drinks sound good to me, especially.
But I wasn't saying free. I was saying, hey, make a living.
No, she's thinking about side hustle. We got like 5 different conversations going on. Let's bring it back in. Nana, what was it like to raise Ira Bowman? Toots.
That's her favorite name.
She hates it.
No, I hate that one.
When did I start calling you
There
Toots?
was Nana Banana.
Nana, I started calling you Toots when I was like, that was in LeMans.
I don't know what I hate.
That was a
Toots or Nana.
That was
Toots.
on the way to pizza, and I
then-
don't remember when and how it came up. Do you? No. But that was in LeMans.
I don't know, but then all the names that you know I hate,
Roberta?
you teach my grandkids to call me
I'm
as
evil.
well, and that's even worse.
You guys know that I
And
tease.
your wife.
You guys know the ones I tease the ones I love, right? So my mom has been teased a lot.
Oh yeah, and then multiply that by 8 or 9 or
My minions.
10, whatever. Yeah, your minion.
Is Toots a term of endearment now?
No.
Okay, I have to
But
tell you though.
then he calls me Roberta, and I'm thinking that's
I
still
introduce her as
mama
I
to
introduce her
you.
as Roberta.
I have to interject though here. Is my sister's mother-in-law demanded she be called Toots. That
Really?
was her term of endearment. She's no longer around, but that
Oh.
was
Now wait a minute. First of all, my nickname as a child, and I'm almost terrified to admit this, but they called me Boo Butt. All right? Do you really feel bad? They called me Boo Butt my whole childhood, and then I call her Toots, and I'm the evil one.
But you called Marlena Dookie, and I never
I don't know that we actually wanted to put that out on the airwaves, but that's okay.
Oh, well, it's out there now.
It's not my fault, Marley.
Sorry, Marley.
But I can just see the attitude of, I'm sure it came out like, come on, Toots, you know. I'm sure if it came with a softer, loving
No,
Toots,
I don't think
maybe,
it would. I don't think there's
come on,
anything
Toots.
loving
There really was no
about my children, really.
softer, loving Ira. No, guys, I'm telling you, I was not kind and gentle.
No, they're not kind and gentle, and they always are like, "Come on, Mom, you're walking so slow." And I try and tell them, you know,
we at least have one person enjoying this shit show right now. That's great.
All I can say out there to you, children around Ira's age, have a little patience with your parents, because one day you too will be old. I am at least trying. Ira didn't tell you that right before this show, we walked 1.25 miles up hills.
Wait, say that again so the world knows that Ira exercised today.
Yes, Ira did exercise today.
Boom, baby!
His mom walks on a regular basis because I can. And while I can, I'm still going to, because a lot of my friends don't anymore. And
I feel like I'm,
you know, I tell people I don't have, I don't go for speed. I go for stamina because I can. And I've lost a lot of friends this last year, and it wasn't necessarily due to COVID, but just putting it out there. If you can exercise, you should.
Yeah, we talked about that on the trail.
You still can, because exercise is good not only for your physical health but for your mental health. And I happen to still be working even though I am past retirement age, because I work for the state of Utah, and they allow you to work as long as you would like. And I am the civil mental health clerk, and I've seen what COVID has done for people's mental health in that capacity.
All right.
And anyway,
on that uplifting note,
anyway, so
when you
get
get
out
a
there
chance,
and have patience with your older parents and relatives.
shuffle your feet,
yes,
as my mom says.
yes,
shuffle
keep
your
on
feet.
shuffling. It's a message that I learned a long time ago from a fellow employee, and it does worlds of good for your mental health.
And we got over 7,000 steps in yesterday together.
You can get the recommended 10,000 steps
at the mall,
but if you can,
in between
yeah.
Red, what was it? No, it wasn't Red Robin. It was Cheesecake Factory and
well, hey,
a mani-pedi and a visit to Victoria's Secret, which is disappointing because nothing fit.
Hey, but good for your physical and your mental health. And hey,
it fit. It just.
But getting back
right.
to Ira, you know, when he wasn't bullying his little brother, he was actually a pretty good kid, and he has a good, kind heart. But
she's trying to smooth this over now. She just can't.
Sometimes does not always have patience, you know. But
it's a process. I'm getting better.
He's getting better.
I started so far behind the curve that anything just makes it, you know, is great.
But truthfully, I always tell people that he got all the good things from his mom, and the impatient and the bad things from his dad.
That
Sorry, Dad, you're not here
earlier.
to defend yourself, so there you go.
Yeah, show up from the Ukraine, and we'll let you be on the show too.
Defend yourself.
You know what? I'm actually going to interject and now say that all the good has come from me.
There you go.
And I'm not going to say anything because this is not. I can't
won't win.
I can't win, but that's okay. So yeah, I've had a lot of growth. We've talked about my journey before, guys. You know what it is. So it is what it is. I really started to kind of become a better person in my 30s, which is nice. So, but I did learn a lot of stuff from this lady. She's a hardworking son of a gun, and she always provided for us. We didn't go hungry. So thank you for that, Mother, and for telling the world about.
We love her.
Nana
Toots.
So my mom actually, she went through a couple different, like her career went from a couple different ways. So she started, insurance was really, when I was a kid, that's what she did first. And then when she moved to Levan, her husband sold tack and saddles. So she took on that mantra. And I learned a lot about, we talk about sales. Mm-hmm. I learned a ton about sales from my mom and from her husband, Bill, who's now passed away. But they taught me a ton. We used to go to auctions and fairs, and they used to hold their own events. And I learned a ton about how to treat people and work ethic and inventory and a ton of that stuff from them as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. Really, that's the time frame that I was with them doing those things. We would go to the Stampedes and we would drive around the Four Corners area. And I think it was 12 when we drove across country that summer. We drove to South Carolina and our cat died. That was sad.
Really?
Died in Greenville, South Carolina. I'll never forget it. But we went to Dollywood that year. We went, and we really paid for the trip as we went, which was kind of a cool experience. But I learned a ton. So good times, bad times, hard times, and easy times all in one. Didn't have air conditioning in the vehicle, I don't think. We had that van, remember?
Yeah,
we had windows that opened in the back door. That was kind of cool. Anyways. All right. So let's talk about this. We're in this show. We're always going to talk about MLM. We're going to talk about a little bit about business to business marketing, business consumer marketing. Today, for your business to business marketing tips, I'm going to share something I shared earlier in WBS Rocks, because we have this cool format that he's adapted and I like it. So my advice to people, and this, you can apply this across the board, frankly, when you're on social media, when you're trying to build your visibility, raise your visibility, a lot of people are focusing too much on their post and not enough on the conversation in the comments. The comments can actually help you more than the post itself. But it doesn't even have to be your post. I may have shared this tip on here before. I don't think I have. So I want to share it today. Find people that you like. They have a voice that you like, that have a larger audience. For me, that's a Simon Sinek or a Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay. So VaynerMedia, go to Simon Sinek. Anybody like that. It's like millions of people. They have a large audience. Now, if you're a job seeker, that could be somebody. Oh, there's all kinds. Anyways, I'm not going to name them, but you know who some of like the baguettes out there, you know, with the large audiences. Even somebody like a Lorena Acosta or a Corey Warfield or even me, right? But you find people with large audiences and you participate in their comments. By doing that, sometimes you're actually being seen now by more people than if you had a perfect post. It's like having a website with no website traffic and you put up a blog on it. It's like, okay, but nobody read it because nobody saw it. Where if you could have a guest blog on a bigger website, more people would read it. It's the same idea. So if you're a good writer, that's actually another secondary tip. Try to be a guest blog author as opposed to putting all your content on your website that nobody's reading. Maybe if you can get it hosted on somebody else's website where you have hundreds or thousands of visitors a day, that'll help you out even more. So the tip for me, again, is to spend more time doing what Bob and Bonnie and Matt and Yamuna, all these people are doing right now. They're commenting on the posts. I think he actually had that up already, but that's okay. Anyways, but they're commenting on the post and they're being seen by everybody who sees it. And it's not just in the moment. You got to remember these posts kind of live on. So if it's going to get 10,000 views or 100,000 views over the next couple months, you're increasing your exposure not only today, but for the long haul. So that's the tip from me. Now, Alicia, why don't you tell us a little bit about the delivery? He wasn't a delivery guy. He was installing. Here's what happened. We had the cables, internet, and we've been here for just over a year, and they raised the price on my bill. And I said, hey, Alicia, why don't you call and see if they'll, maybe they have a special or some other discount they can offer us. And so she did. And they said, nah, that's what you get. And I said, well, it's not a monopoly market. We have options. So we called.
Really one other.
We have one other option. But hey, we called them, and guess what? We got faster internet, and it's cheaper again. So mission accomplished. Well, the guy was here today doing the switch out of the service, right? So while he was here, what happened?
I squeezed the day.
Squeeze the day. What does that mean? Because people don't get the reference.
No. Squeeze the day is actually a lemon scent that we have, and I was
Who's
like, Scentsy. That Scentsy has.
Ah.
So I work with Scentsy. I am a Scentsy director, so I'm an independent consultant, and I was making samples actually for my monthly mailer of this Squeeze the Day scent. because I want to tell my customers about, and we can sort of segue into that too, is that we've got cleaning products and it's going to be spring cleaning soon and all those types of things. And so I was making these samples of the Squeeze a Day scent, which is just an amazing scent, isn't it, Anna?
Yeah,
it's a really good scent. And he walked by and he said something about, what is that scent? Is that
what is that smells so good?
Is that, like
Mom, your head's not on.
A plug-in or what?
We have to squeeze in.
What is that?
We have to squeeze the audience here.
We get squeezed today here, guys.
Squeeze the Alicia.
And so I told him, and he's like, and he was like, I need some of that. It wasn't like, oh, that's nice. He said, I need some of that. And so I said, okay, well, and I showed him warmers around the house. I said, well, that's what it uses as a warmer. And so he was all in. And I said, well, what type of warmers do you like? I got some here and I could show you. And he told me, so I pulled out a bunch and I put them out on the table and lit some up.
And she says a bunch, she means like she filled the whole damn table.
It's still just a small portion, but yeah, so I pulled out.
You have pictures on Facebook. If you're following along with my wife on Facebook, which is where she's most active.
Yeah, that was the hot mess after he had shot.
Yeah, it didn't look that bad. It actually looked pretty good until she started pulling them out, moving things around.
We were starting to put stuff away, but actually, no, I took that off. That wasn't supposed to go on my personal page. That was supposed to go on the team page.
Oh, oops.
But if you really want to see, let me know. I'll show you.
She'll give you access to the team page.
And so, yeah, I pulled stuff out. I pulled scents out, and he walked home with 5 warmers.
Yeah.
7 bars.
He lost money on the deal, is what she's trying to say. He spent more here than he made, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he's excited, and his family, I guess, is really into scent. And so he's like, I'm sharing this. I said, well, let me hook you up with some rewards and those types of things. And
party?
Possibly a party, and gave him some little extras that I could. And hopefully we have one happy customer. But since we're talking about it, I sort of talked about the Squeeze a Day. That was sort of what I was going to talk about.
We'll pull it up.
Was that we do, it's getting to that time now, I guess, depending on where you're at, because where Nana's from, it snowed today. So spring cleaning
Is
might
that
not
crazy?
be on your mind.
We're out there sweating to the oldies, literally, because my mom's with us. And
hey,
easy
sweating with the oldies.
Yeah, that's right. Easy, partner.
Bubba.
This is the love that she's talking about. Anyways, we were out there and it was hot. Like I had this on and I actually felt like I should have had a t-shirt on. But it was in the 70s and it snowed where my mom lives. So
yeah.
Anyways, spring is here in California already.
If you're spring cleaning, we do have this bundle.
So tell us what's the deal here. So
go up.
Yeah, so hang on. So the deal is you pick.
Yeah, so there's a 3-item combo.
A bathroom cleaner,
$25. You get all 3: a bathroom cleaner, counter clean, and a dish soap. And a lot of those, like the bathroom cleaner is pretty much bathroom cleaner or sink cleaner type thing. But the counter clean we've talked about before can be used for multiple things. I even use it to remove spots out of carpet. Somebody else showed me getting spots out of clothes today. And the dish soap you can use on all sorts of stuff. It's not just dishes. You can use it to clean grills and those types of things. So anyways, we have this bundle, and a lot of people are starting to talk about the cleaning.
I'm going to put this link in comments so you guys can find it if you want. Anytime you're ever curious, just hit me up with a message, of course, and I will share it. But this will put it on whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Yeah, it makes cleaning so much nicer when things smell good and they're not toxic. And our cleaning products are not harsh. Our bathroom cleaner is powered by citric acid. You can get it on you. You're not, having to worry about what
we use it to kill ants.
That's the counter clean.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. The counter clean, we had ants, and we found that
especially
citrus, the lemon scents.
Yeah, the citrus ones all worked really well to kill the ants.
So we just spray them down. I don't have to worry about the kids, having some harsh chemicals or anything, and so they could go kill them. And
in Moreno Valley, where we live, so we're in the Inland Empire of LA. It's like a giant ant hill. There's ants in this whole valley, so you can't get away from them. It's fantastic.
So that's sort of more my product spotlight. But
that's okay. So every episode of 8 is Enough, we do like stories. We go back in time. So I don't know. Mom, I don't know if you have a story that you would like to share from,
Please do.
back in the day, but you can think about that, and when you're ready, we'll let you go. It doesn't have to be like a pop quiz, like ready, go. But you think about that. Usually we do it at the 45-minute mark, but we can do it whenever you're ready. But anyways, so what do? We talk about the MLM stuff. We talk about our marriage. We talk about raising 8 kids and all the fun that is. I actually, because I own Bowman Digital Media and I work from home, my mom and my wife yesterday, they went on this fun little, I was calling it spa day, but that's not really the right way to describe it, right? But they went to the mall and they had fun. So they got to eat. They got to, go to a couple stores and get their nails did and that stuff. So on Thursdays, our third oldest child, RJ, who's like 6 foot something now. Anyways, he plays piano. He's taking piano lessons. So I took him to piano lessons, and I thought this is kind of cool because this is the stuff that I was never able to do as an employee. I was an outside sales rep for over 20 years, and I wasn't home a lot during the day, like hardly ever, right? So my wife sends me a text at, I don't know, 1:30 or something, and says, "Hey, can you take RJ to piano lessons?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" Right? So I got to go and watch, and actually took some pictures. So I put those on Facebook. If you want to check them out, I haven't put them on Instagram because they don't quite fit my Instagram profile. But it was kind of fun to get to do that. So we talk about stuff like that on the show. But if you guys want to tell us about your day, what did you do and how did it go?
What we did?
Yeah.
Well, yesterday we started out going to the mall, and we had to find the pedicure place, which was actually more challenging than I thought it was going to be.
It is tucked away in the bottom.
And so I had to ask somebody where, and she actually recommended one. There was 2 places, and she recommended one. And I think we had actually walked past both of them, not even.
You don't realize that.
That's because they're down little corridors.
Yeah.
And so, so we got a little pedicure and manicure, and we sat there.
Did they laugh at you when you left?
Well, no. Okay, so you didn't even hear this story.
It's always interesting.
We told this story last week.
Yeah, but you didn't hear the funny story about me yesterday.
I didn't hear. Okay.
I was probably getting laughed at a little bit because, they take the cheese grater to the bottom of your feet, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's sort of a disgusting thing. But I was ticklish.
So she's trying to get your feet and you're laughing?
It was actually he.
All right.
And he's going at my feet, and I'm just giggling. I've never had such sensitive feet before.
I wish I had this on video.
Yeah, and so he's doing that, and it's always interesting because there's a lot of communication barriers too. But
I was trying to figure out what language they were speaking.
I think it was Vietnamese. But
I think that is. I've been there before. I tried. In full disclosure, so in my old job, I used the mall was one of my clients that they went to, and I went after I signed up the mall. The property management for the mall as a client, they said, hey, you should go around to each of the individual stores in the mall and let them know that you're working with us and they might want to have some add-on work because that's when COVID was just coming out.
But they did.
The people were very nice.
They were very nice. They did a good job, but it took longer than I thought because that's where then I was like, oh wow, it's already getting on in time, and I was like, we wanted to go.
Yeah, because you guys were gone for like 6 hours. I thought you were going to be gone for like 2 or 3. So.
Yeah, well, and so we went to grab something to eat, and we still didn't walk around at all. And so,
but how many stores would you say were open?
Quite a few. Yeah.
No, but like percentage wise.
Well, a lot of them
You think it was 50%?
A lot of them they limit the amount of people that can go in the store.
Oh, sure
so you have to wait outside because they're only letting.
And they still had the stickers on the floor.
We had to wait for 2 people to come out.
That's one of the things they bought for me was the little circles.
Yeah.
6 feet apart.
A majority of the stores were open. There were a few that had stuff in it, but weren't open. I don't know if they are opening on the weekends. They're not paying for staff during the slower times or those types of things. But I was actually surprised that there wasn't more businesses gone. There was some,
right?
But we had a good time, and they did a good. I laughed, and then they beat me up. I've never had somebody hit me.
Who beat you up? I'll go beat them up.
Massage people.
Massage people. Like
I'm
the
gonna go
girl's
get
like massaging my arm, and she's and I, you know how I bruise. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be black. It didn't hurt really, but and then the guy slapped my feet. She didn't get any of that. It was just me. They're like,
there was a reel.
Ladies. They were gentle with me because I'm old.
There was a reel on Instagram. I was scrolling through my Instagram. I think it was yesterday. It might have been when you guys were gone. Anyways, I digress. I was scrolling through, and there was a guy going to town on a lady's buttocks, but he was like a masseuse. But it was one of those.
okay, you need to like say that differently, but okay.
But I'm bringing it all together like a masseuse. He's going to town, but like he's working, you know, and then he smacks it like that. But it's not like I walk behind you and smack your butt. It's not like that. It's like a massage slap. But anyways, then somebody pops in and goes, "Where was this on career day? Like you didn't let me know those." I was kind of funny. I'm like, yeah. Maybe we'd have more masseuses if they would advertise like that. You get to smack people in the butt.
Well, I joked because I saw one time somebody shampooing somebody's head, and they kept
whack their head.
They kept hitting it and like slapping the hair around, and I was like, and I told her because that's what it sort of
stimulate growth or what? I need that.
I don't know.
I could use some of that myself.
I joked.
Now you'll know where I get it from.
Hey.
Whoa.
But I joked with her yesterday about it reminded me of that, and I remember as a hairdresser, yeah, you know what? There's times that you might want to
smack your customer.
Or I told a customer one time, he's still a friend of mine. We're friends on Facebook and everything. But I was like, yeah, sometimes I thought about just shoving the water hose in somebody's mouth. Like I think that would drown them. Now he's got a sort of sick sense of humor, so we had quite a few laughs about that. I was like, yeah, don't make me shove the hose down your mouth. Just
be nice, people. It costs nothing to be nice.
Yeah. So after our Manny and Petty, well, then we went over to Cheesecake Factory. And she told me driving up, she's like, "Ooh, Cheesecake Factory." I said, "Oh, that sounds good." And she told me carbs don't matter.
That's right.
Today is a special day. Carbs don't matter. I'm for it. I think that's a good thing.
And so
because this is the second of the new annual.
Yeah, which isn't really annual because it was like really almost 2 years ago. But anyways.
Well,
yeah. So we then we go over there, but there was a 45-minute wait
to get in a cheese factory
to get seated.
Wow.
And so then
that would be a deal killer for me. I'd be like,
well,
yeah, but you know you have your mindset on something, and
I don't.
We're willing to wait.
Really care.
Well, and they said, "Well, we can text you," and so it's like, okay,
that's not bad.
I need to go over to Victoria's Secrets because I need some new bras and
yeah.
Which here's the other thing is I texted him earlier on because I told her, you know what, I should go in there and get sized and all these different things. I need help. Anyways, and so I text.
What is anyways about that?
Okay.
You need to get sized.
I need to get sized.
And
well, things have changed in the last couple years.
But you know, then you go in there and you can't try things on.
Yeah, we can't try anything. Sense. So that didn't help because then I came home and no, that still didn't fit.
Nothing fits.
But I told her, I said, I'm going to text him. I'm going to Victoria's Secrets. What's my budget? And I was expecting no budget, babe.
I know what you were expecting. I knew what you were looking for.
Some tacky answer.
And he didn't fall for it.
I was busy. In fact, at that particular moment, I think I was having a conversation with a client, letting me know that was going to be their last month with me. So I was not in a real playful mood. But
anyways. So we.
But I knew what you were looking for.
Yeah, we ran over to Victoria's Secret and just had enough time to sort of mosey our way back because I mosey with Hannah.
She shuffles.
I didn't. Hey, we did our little walk and that's fine.
Hey, and I didn't push her to walk faster today.
Hey, you were taking pictures of birds and.
I know you were taking pictures of the dirt.
I got good pictures too.
It rained. So there's like some like ridges and cracks in the trail, and my mom was fascinated with it, so she takes.
They are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool.
Yeah. So we had a nice lunch and got a couple appetizers and a dessert, and it was yummy. And then we did a little more shopping, and then I looked at the clock. I said, "We better go
because we want to eat."
Because and I was like, "We'll probably hit some traffic on the way home too."
Probably did.
Yeah,
and we did.
And we did. And so
welcome to California.
So we got to go into a few stores. I got some ideas for kids' birthdays and different things too. So.
Speaking of kids, it's been awfully quiet out there. I wonder what trouble they're causing.
Not my grandbabies. They're good as gold.
Yeah.
Well, those two are Utah. These ones are not so good.
I don't know about those two.
Yeah, I was about to say I know those two too.
I know those two too, Nate and Emily.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
All right. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to share while my mom's here. I don't know. Were you able to think of
your mom listens in.
I know she does. We share.
You need to chime in more.
All right. Were you able to think of a story that you want to share?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Like, I have to ask you if this is okay.
Nothing.
Well, you probably have told enough stories on your own.
I met Pollyanna the other day on Clubhouse on Let's Get Naked.
Let's Get Naked.
That picture. Has that gone live? Like, have people seen that thing?
The one where he put my face? No.
Yes.
Yeah, not really. Thank God. So Matt Crump, who's my partner in crime on a Clubhouse. So for those of you who don't know, Clubhouse is a little bit different. It's audio only. There is no visual component, but we have fun with our name, which is Let's Get Naked. The name actually refers to taking off the mask or letting down the veneer and being real. That's really where the name, that's what it means. But we do have fun with the pictures. And Pollyanna is a nurse. She's an RSN, if I remember right. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Pollyanna.
She put BCCEN.
There you go.
Oh wait, no, she's got all sorts of
MSN.
That's her title. But
Okay.
Anyway, she's a nurse. She's educated, and she's helping people. I think in part with sex ed. So I think her name on Instagram, I think, is Buried Treasures or something like that, if I remember it. But anyways, I just met her this last week. So in that room, Matt, we have a chat room every week, and Matt had taken my face and did one of those like face-off things and put it on a woman's body who happened to be naked, but you couldn't see anything because she's holding the sign. Let's get naked. Anyways, my wife,
this hair.
my wife saw it and she just couldn't.
I walked by and I was like,
she couldn't.
That's awful. That's awful. And basically told him that
I think so. She's cool. My mom's cool.
He ruined our physical relationship from now on, I think, because I'm going to
No, he didn't.
You hope.
I have skills to pay bills.
Okay.
Who wouldn't want all this? I mean, anyways. All right. So, mother.
Hey, you knew that.
Some story.
From Bates Motel. That's where that comes from. Get with it. Mother.
They got me watching that. That is a strange show. Every time I think I'm just about to figure it out, there's another twist.
A twist, yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Did you know on Netflix you can still rent DVDs? Like, not rent them, but
was it Netflix?
It was, right?
I mean, and then you and Joe got me watching Cobra Kai, and I haven't finished.
Joe and I will gladly take credit for you watching Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is awesome.
I like that.
You know, when they take these movies, and they make a sequel, or well, usually the third one. By the time they get to the third one, usually they fixed it again. But usually the sequels suck. I mean, it's
but Cobra Kai was good.
But Cobra Kai is good. So they made a show like LaRussa and these guys. LaRusso is the coach. Yeah. Anyways, so they grew up, but the show is so true to the original concept that it's believable, and I think very enjoyable. Anyways, my mom's
and they're gonna have another season. A season of it.
Yeah.
So and I
have to finish watching it.
What season are you on?
I think I'm on 2.
2? Yeah, they got through 3. So like Joe watched the whole season 3 the day it came out. He watched all 10 episodes.
So they're going to start season 4?
Yeah, I think they're filming 4 now. Or
3 just came out not too long ago.
Yeah, but there's going to be a 4th season.
Then I'm really behind.
But you got time.
You got time.
You got plenty of time.
Well, I'm watching Bates now. This is the 3rd time. I didn't watch the whole thing with my parents.
So I really liked the first 4 episodes of Bates Motel, and that's the backstory of the Psycho movie, right? So I thought it was good. So we're watching it. It's getting a little bit.
It gets better again, I think.
Yeah. So to me, like if I saw like the episode that we watched last night, which is what are we on season 2?
Which one are we on?
We're on season 2.
I think we're on season 2. So if the episode we watched last night was the first one that I'd watched, I wouldn't watch it anymore. Right? I mean, that's just me.
There's episodes that are some because like when I was visiting my mom and dad, we were watching it. And so in that case, actually, it was still on Netflix at the time we started it, and they took it off like the very next day or
Right.
2 days later. And my mom really was enjoying it. So I got her an early birthday present and bought them the set.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'll watch it with you again. I enjoyed it. I had watched it with the kids when I had been sick with COVID. And so
I watched a few episodes there.
yeah, and you were enjoying it while you were there too.
Yeah.
So we were watching it, and my mom stayed up really late, like 3, 4 in the morning, like type late. And so I'd be like, okay, well, I'm probably gonna just one more. And some nights she could like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're ready. But then like there would be episodes she's like,
well, last night,
give me one more.
even last night at like 10 o'clock, I was starting to lose that battle. Are you ever watching the show and your like eyeballs start to like zonk on you?
Yeah.
So that was me last night by 11:30. Now, usually I'm up late, so it's not a problem. But last night, for some reason, I was just like, I was ready to go to sleep. And then I slept in late too. I went to bed. What time did we go to bed? 11:30? We went to bed at 11:30 and slept till like 8:30, which that never happens to me. Like, well, hardly ever, since it never, because it happened last night. But I very rarely stay in bed for 8 hours. But I did last night, and it felt good. So
Sleep is good.
Sleep is good. And I went for a walk today, Liz Jones in Virginia, if you're watching. Yeah. She's invited me to be on yoga on Friday mornings.
They tell me I should get on there
That
too.
is not going to happen. No.
Was it? I think it was the yoga one. They said
I
I
will
should.
never do yoga. I'm not a yoga guy.
See, I always tell people if I get on the floor to do those, who's going to pick me
Well,
up?
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Two things are going to happen, and I pardon for being grotesque to all of you, but I'm going to fart, and I'm going to relax. In that
You
order.
don't know how to relax.
You'll
Come
figure
on
it yourself.
now.
I will certainly fart.
Well, I didn't question that part.
So, no yoga for me. And that's probably TMI. So I'm sorry for all those who are offended by
Oh,
that, but
goodness.
it's the truth. It
Yeah.
is. Okay, Nana.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to call you something that you like. I'm being nice
Don't
to you.
make us call you toots
I
now.
do like that.
Felice.
Nana is one of the best things that can
Hello,
happen
Julio.
to anybody. Truthfully, you know.
Yeah, okay, so story time. You got time. Anything? Nothing?
And the best parts about you and Alicia are my
No, I'm talking
grandchildren.
about when I was a
No,
kid.
when
That's
you
what they
were
want
a
to know
kid.
about.
Oh.
They hear about us all the time now, where it's like old hat.
No, one of those bad stories.
How about this?
He
How
was
about this,
chasing
guys?
somebody around with a knife.
Do you
or-
have? No, we did that when she wasn't home. She doesn't even know those stories. Ask Carol that story. She'll tell you about. I could tell you a funny story real quick. Okay, so
Okay.
we moved into the house we're in now, but just barely. So that was 6th grade, right? Because 5th grade we were in the brick house. Yeah. So we moved in this house, and now again, I already told you, my mom and her husband Bill, they were gone a lot because they traveled to these shows to do to sell this stuff. Well, my sisters were teenagers at that time, so we would stay home and kind of like latchkey kids, but we'd stay home. Anyways, so I was in wood shop in middle school, and I made my mom one of these tire knocker things. You know what I'm talking about? Looks like a baseball bat. Well, it's not a baseball bat. It's a tire knocker.
What the heck's a tire knocker?
You never heard of it?
No.
See, because you're not from blue collar family. So a tire knocker, the idea for those of you who are not familiar with, is like my wife, Saratoga. Oh, he did go there. Look at this. All right. If you drive a truck, anything with lots of wheels, you can't always see the inside wheel.
Right.
So what you do is you take the tire knocker and you like hit it, and if it bounces back a certain rate, then you know everything's fine.
Flat.
And if it
Wow.
thuds, it doesn't bounce back quickly, then your tire's flat.
Okay.
So that's what a tire knocker is for. But in this particular case, I was using it as a weapon. Remember my mom telling you earlier about me torturing my brother? This is one of those stories. So you've seen me chase RJ around the table. Well, just substitute Ira.
I think I've seen
But substitute,
you chase all the kids.
I really have.
torture
I
for
do
some
because I
reason.
like to tickle. But that's another story. All right. So in this story, I wasn't there to tickle. I was gonna like whack him. I don't know if I really would have. But anyways, I probably wouldn't have. But anyways, that was the game. So I'm chasing Timmy, little Timmy, sweet, innocent Timmy around.
His name is Tim. That's what he used to
I
say.
have nicknames for everybody. So I'm chasing Timmy around the table, and Carol's watching us. Carol was like, 4 years old. She's 4 years older. So she's in charge. And she didn't think it was funny. So she grabs my tire knocker and throws it in the fire. I deserved it, though, because I was being a dick. I mean, probably not the nicest way to say it, but I was being mean, kind of. I mean, like I said, I don't think I would actually.
But what story would you think that your mom might come up with? Because, like,
I was going to tell something like that because I used to wail on Tim all the time.
That's not true.
No, yes.
I only hit him one time in
and
my
see,
life.
one time, and people would say, well, aren't you going to do something about it? And I really didn't have the perfect way, and I thought, one time Tim is going to, finally have had enough. And one day he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. I remember him.
Whatever.
Everybody's
One
memory
time
is so
he just
funny.
had enough. And I don't know what he did, but he finally got him back. And I remember he kind of beat the crap out of Ira. And we all just sitting and watching. Oh, no.
This never happened.
No, it did happen.
No, it didn't.
I don't know if he.
I'm going to tell you guys the truth.
If
And this is the honest truth. I
hit.
hit my brother in my life. I actually hit him one time, and I knocked him out.
But what you consider hitting, what other people might.
No, I mean, I really hit him, and I was in the 5th grade. I can tell you exactly where it was. We were remember at Pete, the house we rented from Pete's. We had two front doors.
Right.
It's really weird. So our main living room was, if you're standing in front of the house, it was the one on the right.
Right.
Okay, so I don't even remember what got me to this point, but I still, you regret things in your life. This is one of those things. If I could go back in my life and actually change it, like my brother and I grew up antagonistic, but trust me, my brother can give out as much as he takes. Right? So very smart guy, and anyways, we grew up antagonizing each other. But one time, for whatever reason, I don't remember the exchange that built up to it, but I do remember feeling this pit of regret as soon as I did it. Like, I wish I could, like lightning in a bottle, take it back. But I hit him. I punched him in the face, and he fell down, and he was out. So, sorry, Tim. I've always regretted that. But I was 10 years old.
See, that's where you saying hit, you only hit once. Like, that's like.
No, that was hit.
That's like a clobber, not like.
No, that was a Mike Tyson. You got knocked. That was a Fridays. You got knocked out. Right. Yeah. That was just the one time. I don't remember my brother ever hitting me, not like that. Right. So did we wrestle and play and chase each other and that stuff? Yeah. But not fight. That was just the one time. But I could tell you lots of stories, other stories that wouldn't make either of us look good, but I'm not gonna do that.
See, like when I think of, okay, what story would my parents tell? There's one that, pops in mind. There's not one that pops in mind. Actually,
we had lots of good. We had lots of good stories. My brother and I love each other.
No, but something like, oh, you were a stinker. Like, that's what my mom would say. Oh, you were a stinker.
Yeah, but I think so. Remember I said there's two timelines in my relationship with my brother. There's those times and before, which really we didn't get along. We were really antagonistic. My mom's not exaggerating that part. We really did. We were oil and water. But when he came to live with us when I was in California, right? So now I was in high school. He was in junior high. And even when we lived with Uncle Alan in Vegas there for that interlude, we really didn't get along. Yeah. That was, but we didn't fight. We just stayed away from each other. Right. So we both lived in the garage. That was after Bill passed away. And It was just a tough time. My dad thought he was going to move back to Vegas, so he sends us ahead, and then he didn't end up moving. So we were living actually with my uncle in his garage. That's when I worked at the MGM. So, but anyways, at that time we didn't get along, and I really was an asshole to my brother. It's awful, but it's true. I don't want to have revisionist history. But when we moved back to California, And then my brother was entering high school. That's really where our relationship changed. And it stayed good from that point forward. So like pre-high school for my brother, in high school, there was a switch. And I don't remember why. I don't remember what it was in my mind or in his mind, or I don't remember what the I don't even know what to say there. But what was the thing that made it change? But that's really where my brother and I are pretty close now. I mean, we've been close forever, but it's not the story of our childhood. It's the story of our adolescence. But there's cute stories, like my brother and I used to rollerblade and stuff together. There were times where we had good times out on the horses and things where we had some good times. But most of the time in Levan, I was a punk to my brother, except for when other people tried to beat him up. That's where.
Yeah.
If anyone was going to beat him up, it was going to be you.
Oh, 100%. But I wasn't really beating him up. Like I said, I had that one time, but I wish I could take that back, but I can't. It is what it is. Look at that. Speaking of time. Oh, man.
Okay, let's get off that. Yeah.
Whew. We survived. If you still like me, thank you so much.
I don't.
If you thought I was perfect now, I've told you all that I'm not perfect.
Yeah, we all know you're not perfect.
Now you know. Just remember, thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth is here to save the day. Right. My brother loves me. So there's that. Through it all.
Siblings fight some. I remember me and my sister, we thought it was fun. But we didn't we would hit each other and pounce on each other, but we weren't. See, I think that difference of hit, is.
And my brother probably.
I've never hit anybody
my brother would probably tell the story different because he was on the abusive end of it, right? He used to pull my hair and bite me. I don't remember that stuff. I do. The one time I remember hitting him is just the time I just described. He might say otherwise. I'd be interested to hear him say that story actually, but.
I want to know the secrets you have between each other.
Well, let me tell you a secret. After 21 years of marriage, if we haven't told you by now, we're probably not telling you ever. That's what it is.
Now, does Nana know them all?
Nana doesn't.
Probably not.
Nothing.
Because that's the story. My parents didn't even know when it happened. It's this that they found out after the fact.
And this is probably true too, right? So there's that. I grew up wrestling. So yeah, was my brother my wrestling dummy?
Little Ira, that picture I took the one day and I posted, he's standing on our ottoman and they got WWE music going and he's like, okay, lay there, Vivi. And he's like, he wasn't really going to land on her.
Little Ira could
practicing. And I'm like, this is going to end in a trip to the hospital.
This is going to be really bad.
This is
we could tell that story.
Oh, you're Superman?
No. Oh, yeah. Remember? You remember? So we're in Fairfield. All right, so this is how we're gonna end the show. We're gonna go a little bit over. Okay, so if you can't stay, you can't stay, but we're gonna stay over. I was 5 years old because I had started kindergarten in Fairfield. My parents, I don't know what you guys were doing, but you weren't home, and I had pulled, and it wasn't just me, by the way. All four of us were doing it. Remember, I have siblings, 2 older sisters and a younger brother. We're all doing it. We're climbing up, so we had pulled out the drawers and made a ladder, like a step ladder. That's what they're called, right? Those little ones?
Yeah.
So step stool. So we'd made like a step stool to get up on. They had 2 dressers. They had one that was shorter and then one that was taller. We were going to the top, baby. So, and this might have been to Jason Rick's WWE or WWF back then. That's what it was back then. But I think actually. Remember the show, Believe It or Not? I used to love it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so trying to fly, jumping, exactly. Walking on. Come on.
You heard me sing.
There it is, Bob. So we're jumping from the top of the dresser onto the bed. Well, while one person's jumping, another person's climbing. Efficiency. You're going to get more jumps this way. Right?
He was like this as a child.
I really was.
Systems, people. We need systems to get this done.
That's my brain. All right. Okay, so that's never changed. So we're doing this. Well, I don't know if I was standing on the edge too far or if maybe my brother, speaking of the poor guy, my brother had gotten further out, like the drawer had been pulled out further. But anyway, some physics thing happened and the the dresser tips over. My brother ends up sandwiched in the drawer. I end up with my teeth through, you can't see the scar, but the scar's still there, through the lip. And they had to take me that night to the emergency room, and I got stitched up. I don't remember all those details because, I got stitched up. But that's kind of, just paint that or imagine that in your mind. Like, you got a factory, 4 kids climbing, jumping, getting off the bed, and just, anyways.
Gives me angina thinking of it.
Angina, 100%. But, I survived, gave me character.
Is that what that is?
Well, we won't deny that.
But we grew up in a different world, right? It wasn't like, hover helicopter parents. Like,
yeah, you drank out of the water hose and you did, you fell and you got scratched. And,
I got a cool scar. Ain't too bad.
And then RJ did a Superman the one time from at Grandma's house. Remember that? And what's with you kids being Superman? He jumped off her sofa or something into the coffee table, and we were on a date. They were like for a work event or something.
We want to fly.
Yeah.
Did they glue it together?
No, he got stitches. Oh, and I was like trying to hold him.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm like ready to pass out.
Yeah, that's right.
And so like when they had to take him out, I had you go, right? Or no, were you holding him when they stitched? And when I took him back, I had to hold him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have had you go. One of the two.
He's not as bad as little Ira.
But he's not had any major
dentist.
Huh?
Dentist stuff.
Oh, little Ira's. He's a scaredy cat.
He can't.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like.
It takes all I have.
Well, the dentist, they had to drug him. He needed a crown on one tooth, and he just lost that tooth. It was a gnarly looking tooth. But he had a cavity, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna actually."
He gets that for me too.
he needed a crown.
Gnarly teeth. Come on.
But this kid, he wouldn't even lay in the chair. Like, I would have to hold him, and they're like, "Well, we need to get this tooth," and he would scream and scream.
He's gonna have to have sedation.
And so
dentistry.
Yeah, and so they're like, "Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll give him a pill before to help relax him, and then once we give him the laughing gas, usually that does it. Usually that does it, and very rarely will we actually have to like restrain them. They had to restrain this kid. He came out sweating. He fought the entire time that they were doing this crown on all these medications. And then even when he got blood drawn a year or two ago, I had to call him to come hold him because I couldn't hold him. He's kicking the table under the nurse. And
100%. Like he's... Look, I'm good at wrestling, and I'm obviously twice, probably 3 times his size, and still everything I had to get him still enough where they could stick him.
But he's like, Mr. Like, but then when you get needles and that type of stuff, he's he's brave to a point, and then he's not brave anymore.
So they need to knock him all the way out, huh?
I have to acknowledge this comment from Jason Ricks because my kids still don't know the brilliance of Macho Man Randy Savage. Come on, bro. Like, I mean, he was just like,
yeah. You mentioned him quite a bit to your son.
I love that guy. Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. Those were the two. They reigned supreme. Like some people say, Ric Flair, the natural Ric Flair. Like I didn't care about the Ric Flair.
And can I just say, I never understood the whole fascination with any of that. I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend that loved it, and they had her and her sister, and they had posters up on their walls, and I was like. She was my best friend, but I tried to overlook that.
When we were at that age, it was heavy metal and it was the WWE, and there was nothing even close. Like it was all about that stuff.
No, it was Olivia Newton.
If you walked into my sister's bedroom in that era, they had posters of every band, like heavy metal band, and then for me, it was all the WWE stuff. That was it. Welcome to the 80s, baby.
I didn't have posters on my wall until...
Oh, we had posters. And
until junior high, then it was 90210.
Yeah, no, so that was ninth.
Yeah,
for us, that was the 9th grade. But at that time, I already told you. So my mom, we were going to all these events where they sold that stuff. We could get them cheap. We could get the tapes. Yeah, I said tapes, not CDs. Tape. Oh, yeah, for $1, $2, $3 if it was...
Or we could barter for it.
Pricey. But yeah, I mean... That's a good story too.
Lariat for a Marty Stewart shirt.
That's a good story. We could tell the rooster story sometime.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was good. Like, Yeah, I'll tell that story. I'll tell that story next week. I'll tell that story.
Funny.
I'll tell that story next week. But yeah, that's mom approved. That was good. That was good times. That was Ira and Tim getting along.
Yeah, that
So-
was way fun.
Yeah.
Now, were you like conspiring? Because our kids
No, we were in
get
different.
along better when
We
they're
were in different.
conspiring
We were
on
in
something.
different groups. So I'll just tell the story, whatever. So it was in Oregon, is where we were at, and we were at this festival thing. They were, they had their deal set up, so they're selling their taco salads and curly fries. There was all, so think of like a traveling fair. What do they call those things? Not a carnival, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not the right word. I don't know.
It was just
I was trying to give them a festival.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a festival. So they've got all the cheap, not like you're going to the county, well, kind of like the county fair, but not like the state fair. So it's kind of like,
just like a county.
yeah, small, a little bit smaller than your state fairs, but like a county fair. So they have like the rides to carnival, all the games, all that stuff. So they had, my brother and I both loved them. Curly fries. Look, I used to think the best curly fries in the world were from Oregon because of this place. So anyways, we go and we say, hey, we know you got to peel all them potatoes, bruh. Like, we didn't say bro back then, but you know what I mean? Like, we're eager to barter because we've learned these life skills from our parents. Like, you can trade labor for food. BBC more. So we worked and peeled potatoes, lots of potatoes, and then they would give us free curly fries. Take that trade all day long. I'll still take that trade. You can feed me. You can bribe me with food. So anyways, in this event, something to do with roosters. I have no idea what in Oregon, but something to do with roosters. They had a rooster calling contest. Could you crow like a rooster? And it was, although I could do it better back then. But anyways, that was it. So we had this contest, and you've all seen it. Like, you're on stage with people in your age bracket. My brother was a little bit younger, so he was in the bracket before me, and he won. But what they would do is they would stand behind it and, put their hand over your head and go, whoever gets the loudest cheers, that's going to be the winner. Well, they're, anecdotal, making it cute, interviewing the kids to go along. And so for my round, I did my impression, and I thought, clearly, mine was the best. I mean, obviously. Have you met me?
Yeah, right.
Right? So
I think that all the time.
clearly mine was the best, but the guy had been to the beer garden. He said something to the effect of, if you win, will you treat me to a beer at the beer garden? Now, first of all, I was like 10 years old or 11 years old, something like that. So I couldn't buy him beer at the beer garden anyways. But instead of playing along nicely, I said, brother, it smells like you've already been there. And I didn't win. I came in second place. So I didn't get the fancy trophy that my brother got. Anyways, there's the cute story of me at the county fair.
That's so polite of you.
I was very polite back then, politically correct, which wasn't even a thing back then. Like, you could pick on people and they didn't get upset. It was a different world.
Yeah.
The kinder, sensitive, more sensitive Ira, came along later.
All righty.
All right. 8 is enough. An hour is the perfect time to stop this show. We'll be back next week. Nana won't be here,
Bye,
I
guys.
will.
but we'll be back. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about sales for business to business and for business to consumer. If you have questions, you can always ask us questions. We talk about our kids and our marriage. We usually have a cute anecdotal story that we like to share.
What are we going to tell next week?
I have no idea, because we're going to tell the rooster story and I just blew it. So
I think it's the golf club, because I don't think we've told that one. Let us know if I've told the golf club story.
you're going to want to hear it if you didn't.
Yeah. So if you, I can't remember.
It would have been perfect for this show. It fits right in with the theme of this show. Let's embarrass Ira. I deserve that one, though. That was bad. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
We'll be back. See y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
We survived, did we? BowmanDigitalMedia.com.